actually leads me into my favorite story about orcs, which is totally not canon because I read it on some website. But I think I.
But at the same time, it's orcs, so who really gives a shit about canon?
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I might have already.
Canon? Is that what you shoot the blokes with?
Kind of. But it was some orcs, and they had a battle with a Space Marine ship, and it was basically a Space Marine carrier.
Right.
And they managed to kill all the Space Marines on board and take over this ship. Their ship was lost. And they have all they have all the Space Marine gear and equipment laid out before them, you know, because they're dead. And they like, this is good stuff. And they get all up in the Space Marine, get up in the power armor, and they hold it on themselves as best as they can. But then they get a transmission from Terra, because they have a mission to do. The Space Marines, the Orks just butchered. And they're like, chapter, you know, leader, blah, blah, blah. We've got a mission on such and such planet, and there's lots of enemies, and we need them dead. And the Orks stop and think for a minute. There's fighting? There's looting? You mean these shiny boys get to do this?
Wait. Let me think about this. Because on the one hand, we're doing things that humans is telling us to do. But on the other hand, we're fighting. Fuck it, let's do it!
Exactly. And what I love is they actually try and speak proper.
Yeah.
This
is Grand Chapter Master Person, Tortoise Leandrus Persilis.
This is me Lee. Yes, I'm me Lee. Well, what can I do for you? I don't know why my orc's Australian.
Excuse me, a noble space marine. What did you say your name was? It's Crumpy Not an Orc.
Yeah, I think there was something like that. But, yeah, so now there's just a band of orcs with Space Marine tech in a Space Marine ship accepting Space Marine missions. And because they're smart enough to put on the helmets,
nobody knows!
Exactly, whenever they show up on a planet, they think it's just a weird off-world accent.
Yeah.
It's like, my lord? Wow! Yeah, that's respectful in my language.
Oh yeah, he has definitely got a power claw.
So yeah, now there's just a band of orcs flying around doing Imperial missions.
Yeah.
Making it safe for the Imperial... Is that a V8 on his back? That is a freaking V8 engine on his back.
That totally is.
That's great.
I fucking love orcs.
Yeah. It does nothing. He just likes the sound and the fire. But yeah, so... And orcs would totally do that, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And they do this for as long as they can.
It's
which is a surprisingly long time.
So back when Zabi was still going to do his like only war campaign, which is another 40k role playing thing. He wanted he wanted to do a campaign against orcs. So he asked me, being the orky guy, to like design a war boss. And I forget what all I gave him, but he was one of the things I gave him was the Bernie boss pole. It was basically just like a bunch of flamers that it was two crossed flamers on a boss pole, and he had a little switch he could press to make them fire.
No, that's great. Because you can basically slap together anything and see it works because yeah, well, and that feel, you know, if it looks cool, it must work great.
Yeah. Talking about stories from our respective armies, there's this one really great story in the old Orc Codex where this one, I forget the name of the war boss, but he leads his Wa into the Eye of Terror, which is where all of the demons are. So he's leading his Wa, they're crushing world after world, demons are dying left and right. They land on this one planet, and there's nothing on the planet, it's just, they land there and it's just nothing but an ocean of like waist-high blood, just everywhere. And they're running around. They're trying to find something to kill, something to crump. There's nothing. So finally, the war boss gets frustrated, and he starts firing his gun into the surface of the planet in frustration. Well, then the planet starts to
get
move.
Yeah.
So they the blood starts congealing and forming demons, and slaughtering the orcs. And finally, a greater demon appears and starts fighting with the war boss. So he picks the war boss up, and is oh puny orc, you thought you could. Hello, plasma pistol. I have a home for you. Anyway, the usual, oh puny orc, they thought you could beat me, blah blah blah. And the way it says, he raised his hand and with a gesture sent out this psychic force that cut down half of the boys on the planet. And so he makes his speech, and the war boss is just like, I don't give a shit. Raises his power claw between the demon's legs and makes a gesture of his own, as the codex put it. So now this war boss and all of his boys, are basically doomed to be constantly resurrected and fight on this planet over and over and over again. They can never truly die. Just constant fighting. That's a weird boy. Oh, yeah. Does he have an exposed brain? That looked like his brain was exposed. Either that or it was a tattoo.
Right. Go on.
Anyway, yeah, so constant fighting, can never die, constantly resurrected.
Oh, yeah!
Dude! That's like 2-inch thick steel, and he cut through the dude's neck with it.
He's got a little tombstone now.
Jesus Christ.
That's great.
But anyway, so the war boss, after learning of this arrangement, turned to his knobs and said, "Told you I knew what a good fight it was."
Yeah.
Oh. God, that is satisfying.
Yes, it really is. I imagine it'll get a little old after a little while, but for now,
it's novel, it's fresh, and it's brutal.
Smack.
Into
you
the wall.
Him through the wall.
Yes.
Great.
Bulkhead, schmalkhead.
But
what'd that do?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
I know you'd love to play as. Why is the Inquisitor? What is he doing? Oh, he's like, you're standing in my spot, boy. He probably needs to wash his hair.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, going through the game is this Inquisitor.
Uh-huh.
Cause look at him. He's got the power armor. Cool. He's damn near a space marine.
Got a bolt
anyway.
pistol.
Yeah. Like you could go through the game as him solo.
Yeah.
And that would make pretty good sense.
Well, it's
because Inquisitors do the solo thing.
Yeah, but it would be less like fighting and more. It wouldn't be an action game so much. It would be more about like investigating and sneaking around and things like that. That would be a cool game.
Leaving the torture completely out of it.
Yeah.
That's like half their job.
Well, see, even this, just playing as this guy, I don't mind so much. It's the fact that it's just the three of us. It's like this standard, buddy shooter, I guess you could call.
Did you hear the line?
What?
Cold as a space wolf's smile.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
At least we get referenced.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But like there's this segment later on where the Blood Ravens actually come down to support the Ultramarines, and there's this big battle on the bridge, and you're supporting the Blood Ravens, and make it feel like a larger battle rather than this just sort of disconnected. Okay, well this one team of dudes is just plowing through tons and tons of orcs. Make it feel more like a battle.
Fair enough. Oh, and they send the Blood Ravens.
Yeah. No, because
what I would love actually about the Blood Ravens to play as their chapter?
What?
You wouldn't have any relics of your own, but you'd have lots of gifts from all of the other chapters.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine playing as a librarian.
Well, you know what I mean by gifts, right? The blood magpies. You've heard them called that, right? They don't have any of their own relics, but lots of chapters.
Oh no, they've given.
They've given them gifts.
Well, that is something that would happen. You would have things like that too. But it's where the fuck am I going?
I mean, I just love them because they definitely steal everyone else's shit.
Yeah.
But
exchanging gifts between chapters, that would still be a thing.
Yeah, no, that's not entirely uncommon.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to see some of the gifts that I wish they just expanded on this stuff more and made it easier to figure out. Like, because I can only imagine the gifts that my chapter would have given or received, and not just from like other Space Marine chapters. I remember telling you about House Belisarius, which supplies the Space Marines exclusively with their
just running away. What are you doing?
Yeah, because my chapter uses no one but House Belisarius astropaths.
Right. Because
they have this whole deal set up. Let's see, how exactly did it go? They worked out that they would send them 24, or was it 12? I'm gonna go 24. Sounds right. 24 Space Wolves, full time, to be the guards of this noble House of Terra.
Right.
And in return, the astropaths would exclusively supply all the astropaths 24 that the Space Wolves could use.
Right.
And it's that kind of like cooperation that I love. And there have been gifts endless passed like back and forth between the House and the Space Marines. I remember they had a Kraken-toothed sword. That was from the time of Russ, and they gave it to Ragnar.
Yeah.
Because he lost his chain sword protecting the matron of the house.
Right.
So he just gets this ancient as all hell Kraken-toothed sword from the time of Russ. That is the equivalent of a demon weapon. It's not a demon weapon, but it is.
But in terms of power.
Yeah. So, all the little things hidden away.
Right.
I mean, it would just be great to see some of that stuff.
Oh shit, I am about to die.
No, you're not. Kill something.
Kill it faster. Kill it faster.
There you go. Kill it faster. I'm killing as fast as I can.
I have to kill fast, and Space Marine too slow. I still need to show you those videos. The fact that you have not seen them is a travesty of the utmost order.
So basically, you're gonna have to design your own relics, though.
Yeah.
What would you make, though, if you could if they gave you the opportunity to put into the game one relic that's old as balls, like from the beginning of the Orks, like when they were supposed to be the Crow Orks or something?
Let me think. It would have to be maybe something like they would have to be like a melee weapon and a shooter or something like that. Like I'm thinking the axe of Gork and the shooter of Mork or something like that.
All right. And what would the axe of Gork do?
AP2. D6 plus or every attack that you make, or every time you make an attack, those attacks or melee attacks, you add D6 to your strength for those attacks. So you can be up to strength 10 if you roll a 6. AP2, of course. What else would it do? Let's say every time you make a kill with it, you can recover a wound.
Nice.
And then the shooter of Mork would be oh, that's just ammo. I thought that was a blow up thing. Anyway, the shooter.
Is that another power axe just laying on the ground?
Yeah, that's totally a power axe. Oh no! It was a chain sword, and I swore.
Oh.
No, there is just a power axe. They've been looting.
Why doesn't one of them have it?
Because that would be far too hard.
Alright, but you can never be too hard.
There ain't no such thing as hard enough. There ain't enough Decker and there ain't enough Crumpet.